Hello students, welcome to history class. In last class we have learned about the meaningful achievements of Gandhiji's struggle like Satyagraha, Ahimsa, etc. Today let us continue the lesson with the topic of unity of Hindus and Muslims. Gandhiji always tried for the unity of Hindus and Muslims during the national freedom struggle. And he believed that without unity between the Hindus and Muslims, it is difficult to achieve independence in our country. And also, it becomes difficult to survive as the nation in a future. And he always tried to make unity between Hindus and Muslims. And he always said, Hindus and Muslims are the two eyes of Mother India. During Khilafat movement, the Congress expressed its support. Next, let us learn about the circumstances that led to the civil disobedience and what are the reasons led to the civil disobedient movements. First one is Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Maybe you have heard about this Jallianwala massacre. Now let us learn detail about that incident. The British implemented Rowlatt Act in 1919. According to this act, the British started controlling the nationalist means the freedom leaders. Nationalist leaders, they started to control through this act of 1919. According to this act, they could arrest a man and declare him as an offender in a court of law. And according to this act, means this Rowlatt Act, the British can arrest a man and declare him as an offender in a court of law. And they can arrest anybody and they can declare him as an offender. Offender means doing against the nation, terrorism, like that and all. Okay, and they can arrest them and they can declare him as an offender, and they can take him to the in front of the court also. And this snatched away the right of the people to assemble for a meeting, making associations, and the free right of expression from the people. Because of this act, our Indians cannot, they did not get the right to assemble for a meeting, or they cannot make any associations, and they don't have any right to expression their thoughts or their opinion. These are all controlled by this Rowlatt Act. And against this, Gandhi formed an association that is called Satyagraha Sabha, and it opposed all the rules and regulations of the Act of 1919 by utilizing numerous political methods like huge public marches and meets along boycotts. The Act was opposed through making meetings or making public march for like this and all. The Gandhiji opposed this act. In this time, the British government decided to suppress this opposition against the Rowlatt Act, and Gandhiji had called for one-day hartal on April 6, 1919. April 6, 1919, Gandhiji announced a hartal against this Rowlatt Act, and Dr. Fakhruddin and Dr. Satyapal and various other leaders were also arrested in Punjab. Because of this, so many important leaders were arrested in Punjab region by the British. To protest this arrest, the people had assembled in Jallianwala Bagh on April 13. Against this arrest, the people had assembled in Jallianwala Bagh. Jallianwala Bagh means that is a place in Punjab, that is a park. And to protest this arrest, the people had assembled in Jallianwala Bagh on April 13. April 13, 1919. That is the date is important. And it was the day of Baisakhi festival. That was a Baisakhi festival day. The military general of Amritsar, General Dyer, he was the military general of Punjab region. His name was General Dyer. He fired at the peacefully assembled the people and killed around 380 protesters. And these people all assembled in this Jallianwala Bagh. In that time, General Dyer ordered his fellow beings he was a military leader and he ordered to fire at the people. And suddenly, because of this fire, so many people are killed. Around 380 protesters are killed and thousands were injured. This incident make sad in the mind of the people like Gandhiji and other leaders. And military rule was implemented in Punjab after this incident. Rabindranath Tagore returned his knighthood award, and whatever award he got from the British, these awards and all he returned back because of the this mindless violence. And this became the reason for the launch of non-cooperation movement by Gandhi. Later, Udham Singh, a revolutionary, killed Michael O'Dwyer in England. Afterwards, Udham Singh, a revolutionary, he killed this General Dyer in England. This was the background of the non-cooperation movement by Gandhi. Next one is about Khilafat movement. And let us see what is Khilafat movement. The Sultans of Turkey were also the religious leaders of Turkey. The sultans who are ruling this Turkey region, they are also known as the religious leaders of Turkey, and they were called as Caliph. Their title was Caliph. During the World War I, the British harassed this Caliph, and this was protested by worldwide by the Muslims. In India, Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, they were two brothers. They started the Khilafat movement to support the Caliph of the Turkey in 1919. And Gandhi had believed that the British would only withdraw from India if the Hindus and Muslims fight united. If the Hindus and Muslims joining together and fight against the British, then only we can get the freedom of our country. This was believed by Gandhi. So he extended his support to this movement. So he supported the Muslims Khilafat movement, and he wanted an active participation on the part of Muslims in Congress, and he made some Muslims to join in the Congress party, and this was a movement where both Hindus and Muslims participated in nationwide protests. Next one is non-cooperation movement. Now let us see what is non-cooperation movement. The Congress passed a resolution to hold non-cooperation movement in its special national convention held in Calcutta on September 4th, 1920. 1920, September 4th, this Congress made a meeting there, one convention they made there, and they declared non-cooperation movement in that convention. It was in 4th, 1920. It aimed at educating the people about the British for their brutal killing. Brutal means cruel killing, and also to prevent Jallianwala Bagh like incident in future. Apart from opposing the British rule, apart from withdrawing the Rowlatt Act, they wanted reforms in the political system which would lead to complete Swaraj, and they wanted to make some reformation in the political system of India also. So they started this non-cooperation movement. And now let us see the main programs of non-cooperation movement. Boycotting schools and colleges and courts, and boycotting election to regional legislative bodies held according to 1919 Act. They rejected this. Boycotting means rejected. And returning all the honors and medals given by the British, nominated members to the local bodies resigning from their membership, boycotting all the government functions, boycotting all foreign goods. These are the programs mainly held by the non-cooperation movement. And apart from this, non-cooperation movement aimed at encouraging the activities of handlooms and the production of khadi means the Indian handlooms. It also wanted to open national schools, achieving unity among Muslims and Hindus, eradicating untouchability and uplifting the women by empowering them. They wanted to make our own schools, Indian schools they wanted to make, and they wanted to make unity among the Hindus and Muslims, and they wanted to stop the untouchability, and they wanted to give some status to the woman in the society. Next one is the major developments that took place during the non-cooperation movement. What were the developments that took place during the non-cooperation movement? Many senior lawyers like Deshbandhu, Chitranja Das, Motilal Nehru, Rajendra Prasad, they all left their legal practice under the British. And students boycotted schools and colleges. And Congress boycotted the election for regional bodies which were held under the 1919 Act by nominating any candidates for this election. Many national institutions like Kashi Vidyapita, Gujarat Vidyapita, Bihar Vidyapita and Samia Millia Islamia Rashtriya Vidyalaya were established. Like this, so many Indian institutions established. Rabindranath Tagore returned his knighthood award, and common people and women donated liberally to the Congress, and shops selling foreign goods were boycotted and foreign clothes were burnt. The visit of Prince of Wales in 1921 was opposed. These are the developments that took place during the non-cooperation movement. Next one, what are the impacts of the result of the non-cooperation movement? Though many of its main aims remained unachieved, but it creates some deep impacts in Indians. The freedom movements became people's movement. So many people started to involve in the freedom movement. The Congress-led movement took some revolutionary turns. The Hindu-Muslims unity was temporarily achieved. Some Hindu-Muslim unity was there after the non-cooperation movement. The national freedom movement went beyond the boundaries of cities and ended in villages also. And all the national freedom movement, it is ended in the village regions also. The attempts to remove the untouchability and entry of women into public spaces were the notable achievement of this movement. These are the achievements of the non-cooperation movement. I hope you all are understood this topic. And next class we will discuss other topics. Thank you, students.